As a professional makeup artist, I'm going to share with you an easy to follow bridal makeup look. Part 1 will be all about the eyes. Step 1, you need to prime your eyelid. I like to use the MAC Painterly Paint Pot. Once you have your base laid out, I recommend filling in your eyebrows. That way you have a guide. Your eyebrows will help frame the eyeshadow. I'm lightly sketching them with my Maybelline Total Temptation brow pencil. I will end up touching them up at the end after I do all my face makeup. For this eye look, I'm going to use the Sigma Ambiance palette. Just this palette because it's a perfect neutral palette. It's not too warm, not too cool, and honestly perfect for like any skin complexion. I like to start by setting the eyelid with a cream color. I also recommend doing your eyes first before your face makeup. I dip into this shade and I'm going to start grazing that in my crease. I'm going to build up that same shade with a smaller blending brush, also lightly working it on top of my lashes and back up into the crease. And I extend this pretty far out because when I clean it up, I can manipulate it to be whatever shape I want it to be. It's all about slowly building the color so that you end up with more of a gradient. I'm going to take this slightly darker brown and I'm going to use that to slightly deepen up this outer portion here and lightly defining the crease a little bit more. Now for this front lid space, if you want a slight sheen, you can use a more shimmery shade. If you prefer your eyelid to be completely matte, you can go in with a matte cream color. I'm going to take the shade Luster in the palette. I love using champagne tone for bridal makeup because it literally will go with any dress, any type of jewelry. If you want to coat both sides of my brush with that shade, tapping this in this front portion of the eye, look at how breathtaking that is. And then to blend my crease shades and this shimmer together, go in with this shade in the palette. It's a little bit darker. I'll lightly marry these two shades together right here. And taking a blending brush, I'm going to make sure everything is diffused. Also, you can use the code Janelle10 for 10% off this palette. Take the darkest shade in the palette with a definer brush and start laying that across my lash line. And then I'll just take a shader brush and diffuse it so that there's no harsh edges. I'm taking my Makeup by Mario pencil in the Perfect Brown and tight lining my lash line. Also tight lining this inner corner and outer corner. Back into that first blending shade. And I'm going to start at the base and just flick this up. It just gives a super blown out look to the eye. For my favorite part, I take a Q-tip with some eye cream. This is where I start to clean everything up. I like to take whatever highlight palette I'm using, and 9 times out of 10, it's my MAC Hyper Real Glow palette. And I'll just start tapping that to highlight the inner corner and a little bit underneath of the brow. I'm gonna apply mascara and apply my Amazon false lashes. I'm gonna line my lips with MAC Strip Down and top it with Morphe Virgin Liquid Lipstick. I'm also gonna blend a little Morphe Schoolgirl on top of that. I'm gonna add a lip sealant on top of that. I'm using this one that's on the other side of my Revlon lipstick. That same first transition color that we had with the tip of a shader brush, and I'm just gonna start pressing that right along my lower lash line. I'm also gonna add some lower lash mascara using my City Beauty Beyond Mascara. I'm gonna touch up my brows with a brow powder. I'm using this one by e.l.f. Any dark brown shadow would work too. And last, I'm gonna set my brows in place with my Got To Be Glued spiking gel. And then I back comb my brows first and then spike them upward. Go to part 2 if you want to see how I got this bridal face makeup. You can follow for more makeup TikToks.